Right now, right across our vast continent, an invasion is taking place. But it's not just our farmland, rural industries and communities that are under threat. Iconic natural areas right across the country are also at risk. Areas like the Pilliga Forest, the largest temperate woodland left in eastern Australia.
It's just a vast 600,000 hectares of just diverse, wonderful country here. It's just the last place I'd put a gas field.
Right now, they are broad scale knocking down thousands and thousands of hectares of country, and it's perfectly legal.
Where previously there was sufficient continuous habitat, and from a wildlife management point of view and from a biodiversity point of view, for it to be truly effective, it has to be continuous. And when you have removal of vegetation of that size, it has a massive impact across the board.
The amount of environmental weeds that are going to come in with this huge amount of disturbance, it's got me really worried. The fires are going to be bigger, more intense, and you really don't want fires around a gas field, you'd think. You know, it's crazy what they're doing here.
This craziness extends to the natural and cultural jewels of remote Australia, the Top End, the Red Centre and the Kimberley. The gas companies want it all. Our international tourism icons and last wild places will be carved up and industrialised.
Kimberley is an area that contains staggeringly large amounts of shale and tight gas. It's one of the 5 largest onshore gas basins in the world. These companies are quite aggressive, they're very well run, and they're planning on getting this gas online very soon. And we've estimated that there could be well over 100,000 wells within the next 20 years or so.
Even Australia's most remarkable natural gift, the Great Barrier Reef, is currently being despoiled by massive gas export developments.
Well, the risk on Curtis Island is they're putting all these big tanks over there and they freeze the gas into the tanks and they go out onto the wharves and right out to the middle of the ocean. And at the present moment we have silt that has gone out 35 kilometres out to sea. All the fish in the dugong are dying because they have nothing to eat and they're all putting lesions on the fish and giving them red eyes and everything, this silt is.
CSG proposals were being accelerated. We were being pushed by the big players within the CSG industry, huge players. The thing that I find most alarming is just the sheer enormity of the coal seam gas and the resource industry's developments. It is just amazing, just the sheer enormity of it.
New mapping by the Lock the Gate Alliance using government data shows that approximately 408 million hectares of our land is covered by gas exploration and production licenses or license applications and releases. That's 53% of Australia and an area 17 times the size of Great Britain.
Our country's been destroyed before our eyes. We are seeing a change in our nation.
Because what coal seam gas and open cut coal mining are making into industrial zones now, in 30 years, they'll be industrial wastelands.
We don't trust mining companies. Mining companies, they just come, kill the land, kill the trees, kill the animals. And what they leave, they just leave their mess behind. And we're the ones who are going to suffer long term. We're the ones.
Once extracting gas is no longer commercially viable, well, they will stop and they will move on. But 5-10 years later, we see all this massive damage occurred. It's going to be closer to the trillions, not the billions. Who's going to foot the bill for that? Well, I expect it is probably going to be the community. But the community as a whole didn't want it.
People in the city have got to see that this is about them as well. This is not just about farmers. It's not just about rural people. It's about all Australians. What sort of Australia do we want?